"I just don't look good in pictures," was what my mother would say. It was a statement, a fact. Her mother had probably told her that more than once. She was a pawn for a socially climbing mother, an only child in New York City, and stained by her parents' divorce. She spent her childhood being braided and straightened and showcased. There are so many pictures of my mother as a child, professional, expensive photos. I can feel the scratchy wool stockings, tight patent leather shoes, and pinching hair clips when I look at them. My mother would look at one of those pictures and say, "Look, you can see how I was getting fat there." My mother found her rebellion after my father moved her out to the country, but she truly came into her own when he died, and she was left with 2 young girls. For some women, the second half of their life is a chance to start again, to travel or make new friends. But for my mother, it was a chance to stop being presented and stop being presentable. She enjoyed not doing things, not socializing, driving as little as possible, wearing thrift shop sweaters and nightgowns with holes in them. In her crazy cat widowhood, she finally became her own person. But still, she would slide away when someone pointed a camera at us. "I'll be looking at you," she'd declare, and then turn her head toward my sister or me, her anchors against anxiety. In years of pictures, you can only see the profile of my mother's tense, "when will this be over" face. She would watch me get ready as a teenager and say, "I can't believe I produced you." She meant it as a compliment, but it also established a distance between us. And she was right. I wasn't like her, and that was to her credit. She recovered from her underloved childhood by breaking the cycle with her own children, slathering on the love and reducing the expectation. It was a brave thing to do, but it never made it through the camera lens. But some things were catching. I did not look good in pictures. After I picked up my photos, still hot and reeking of acetate from the mall print shop, a sickening feeling would come over me as I sorted through them. I would critique all the things that were wrong: my too wide nose, my wicked witch of the West chin, the tall bulk of me that was taking up too much space next to more petite girls. I'm sure I had been told that beauty comes from within, but everything around me, magazines and billboards and TV shows, told me the opposite. I knew this personally because the boys always chose my best friend over me, and no amount of shining my inner light made any difference. I tried to avoid being in pictures with my best friend because the resulting comparison, framed and flattened, was just too painful. Around this time, I started not smiling in photos. That way, my nose didn't spread out. I practiced a special look in the mirror, head held down, lips pressed together in a stifled grin. From my teens through my 20s, this is the only image of me on film. Looking at me now, you might not know what I'm talking about, but it's all relative, isn't it? I had a beautiful best friend who is now on TV, and a very photogenic sister, the kind who insisted on taking pictures all the time because she knew she would be the one beaming away in the middle while I was trying not to smile and my mother was looking at me. Then I met my future husband. "What are you doing?" he asked when I gave him the look. "Trying not to smile," I explained. My husband thought this was so funny that he tried to make me laugh even more. Damn him. I reluctantly started smiling for pictures, feeling that I was letting down a 17 magazine beauty editor every time I did so. I still have a hard time with photographs, but there is one picture of me that I like. I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor and holding my newborn twin girls. I'm staring straight at the camera and grinning away, so happy I can't hide it. I can feel my joy in that moment. I was amazed by what my body had done, created 2 human beings, and here they were, safe and warm in my arms. When I look at that picture, I don't notice my chin or my nose or even that there's breast milk leaking through my shirt. What I do notice is that I look a lot like my mother.